Hello, happy Sunday. Hope you've had a good week. I am back with another update on my Hinge experiment. We have just wrapped up week 3 out of 4, and I'm happy to say that I've made no progress. In all seriousness, the results have been pretty much the same compared to the last 2 weeks, but this week I did a lot less swiping, as I predicted, because my work week was back in full swing and there were other things going on which diverted my attention. But I've written down my numbers for this week in terms of swiping. Of course, I've had a 0% conversion rate. Still no likes, no matches. But this week, as I said, I swiped significantly less. A total of 78 no's and 11 yeses. So this is a 14% yes rate. So compared to the last 2 weeks, I've been swiping yes a little bit more. But I do also want to say that a lot of the profiles that I saw this week were profiles that I had previously skipped, because last week, if you saw last week's video, you will know that I got through the whole pool given the parameters that I had set. There were a couple days I did not swipe at all. So on Monday I did not swipe, and on Thursday I did not swipe. And I'll just go over quickly what my swiping habits looked like this week, for those that care. Sunday, I swiped no 14 times, no yeses. Tuesday, I swiped no twice and yes once. Wednesday, no 4 times, yes once. Friday, no 25 times, yes 4 times. And then Saturday, no 36 times, yes 5 times. So that's where I'm at with this Hinge experiment. Nothing has really come of it. But I have learned, well, what have I learned? I've learned that despite being intentional about, trying to, make something happen on this app by curating my profile and, commenting and liking on people's profiles, I am making an effort to get back out there. But I imagine this is the reality for a lot of men and women on Hinge. They just, just don't have much luck getting much attention. And that's just how it is for some of us. What else do I have to say? This week I took a little risk, and I did sort of I didn't really ask somebody out, but I asked this girl if she wanted to keep in touch. We were at a group dinner on Friday with a bunch of strangers, essentially, and I got rejected in a very, I would say, in a passive way. So I asked this person if she wanted to keep in touch, and she essentially said something along the lines of, like, we'll be in the group chat or whatever. Something very vague enough where, well, I still got the message anyways. So it wasn't that vague. It wasn't ambiguous to the point where I was confused. Yeah, I got the sense that for whatever reason, she did not want to have a further interaction. I will say that, to give you some context, I was at a group dinner with this local group, and we just happened to be sitting next to each other, so it made sense for me to make some conversation, and our conversation was okay. I would say this person was not as talkative as me. I was probably a little bit more energetic in a social sense. But, she did ask questions and some questions, and she did, give some thoughtful answers. But sometimes, this is just how things roll, right? Sometimes people just aren't interested for whatever reason. And it's tempting to want to sometimes think that there's something wrong with you, or there's something I could have done that would have changed the outcome. But the reality is, not everyone is gonna like you or want to spend time with you. And this is something that this is a lesson I've had to learn over the last few years, because there is a part of me that wishes, I was friends with everybody, or that everybody liked me, or that everybody or everybody saw something in me, or that everybody would give me a chance. But that's not the case, and that's okay, because, the ones who do resonate with you and that will want to spend time with you, you won't ever really have to question or think about, like, oh, did I do enough? Could I have done this? Etc., etc. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about that. I mean, this week has been, pretty normal in that sense, where there's not much, like momentum in the romantic realm, but I did, take some steps forward. I even had a dream. This is kind of ridiculous. I had a dream about Hinge, the Hinge app. I had a dream that I matched with someone on Hinge, and not feeling the sparks. And anyways, I won't get into the specific details about that dream, even though I did write them down. But I just felt like that was kind of an interesting thing to mention. And this is also the first week in a while that I haven't worked at the comedy club, because I quit last Saturday. So I had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening free, which was kind of difficult, to be honest. I sort of like reverted back to some like old habits of just like mindless scrolling, and that didn't feel great. And I didn't really feel like I wanted to reach out to any of my friends or do anything social. But I imagine that will change in the near future, within the next month or two. I'm still waiting on my sports goggles to be shipped so I can go back into basketball a little bit more. But I'm digressing from the initial topic, which was the Hinge experiment. So I'm probably going to end the video here. There's one more week left of this whole Hinge thing, and I don't anticipate doing too much swiping next week. Probably even less than this week, or maybe the same amount. We'll see. But it's kind of been fun. I don't know. But yeah, so onwards we go, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And I will see you next Sunday for the final episode of this Hinge experiment. Take care.